You may have heard me say that your narrative is everywhere in your business. If you design it strategically and build a strategic narrative, you will improve narrative power for your entire business. And when I say that your narrative is everywhere, I really mean it. Your narrative is not only the story that you tell yourself or tell others, it is also, and maybe even more importantly, the way you behave, the way you show up, and the decisions that you make. So there are basically three layers to build a narrative: the stories or message or the verbal element of it. The second layer is what you do, the practices, the really the actions that you take. And the third layer is the decisions that you make, the norms, based on the norms and the values that you have. Now, to illustrate my point, I talk a lot about the verbal and the stories and the messaging and so on, but I want to take something just as simple and powerful as your background on Zoom. See, and I'm going to take my example. My background here on this video is an illustration of my strategic narrative. It is a background that I have developed over the years, and sure enough, as soon as I go in a call or I show up on video with somebody who has never met me before, people immediately noticed the color-coded book, the color-coded books behind me. You can see them here. I organize my books by color because these are books that I've read them. I have many other books in my office here, but these are the books that I use on a almost daily basis. So I need to have quick access to these books. And when I need to remember a specific topic or a chapter or a quote, I turn in my mind to, oh yeah, the color of the book. Oh yeah, I remember that paragraph. It was in the black book, so I know that the black books are here, and I can access them very, very quickly. But in my background, there are many other elements that tie to my narrative. You may have noticed that I use the color purple extensively, and that's part of it's actually a very strong visual element for me. I use purple because you get purple by mixing blue and red. A little drop of red in a tiny bit of, in a bit of blue gets you purple. Purple is typically the color that is used in corporate settings and in business. And my approach is about courageous leadership. And I thought that courageous leadership is best symbolized with the color red. So I add courageous leadership to the practice of building narrative power for businesses. It turns things into purple. But I'm also very, very appreciative and in contact and in touch with nature. So that's why there is a plant. And another symbol that you will see here is this paper airplane that symbolizes agility in the way you build a business. You can build a paper airplane very, very quickly and test it and see how it flies, and then grab it and correct it, and then test it again, and then see how it goes left, right, and then grab it again and test it again until you have it right. And my approach to helping my clients building more intentional businesses is the same, is agile, is through prototyping, just like you would there it is just like you would build a paper airplane. So you see how my narrative comes through everything I do, not just what I say, but it's there. This part of the narrative is silent. Can you hear anything? No. But it's actually very loud because it's connected to what I do, what I represent. You want to hear more details about what's behind me? Okay, so let me just give you a few more. So you'll notice that this is my company logo. So obviously, branding is really an essential part of your strategic narrative. And here's another detail here. This little guy, it's I don't know how you call these, like those kind of dolls for arts. I move this character almost daily. I have it change posture, just like a cue, like there is something happening, there is life. Because to me, the way we should work through building better professional services firms is to breathing life through an organization. My mission is to create organizations that are sources of inspiration that few can resist, right? And that's one way to do it, by changing details every day. I also have artifacts from from previous client projects, some packages from my time working in the cosmetics industry, and some documents. You can't see them here, but they're design documents that I built for clients. And see, you have a photo of me doing graphic facilitation, because this is a service that I used to provide as a standalone service, quite extensively for many, many years. I still do it occasionally when I need it with clients. So here, my narrative is visually present. That's why I say your strategic narrative is really everywhere. It's not only inside your mind, your mindset, your heart set, not only in your language, in how you communicate, your marketing, your sales, and internally your memos, everything you say, you say to your team, but it's also how you behave, right? And how you show up in front of people. So I hope this is helpful. That gives you more advanced knowledge of the concept of strategic narrative, and that these details will help you and will resonate with you and will help you build narrative power for your professional services business. Thanks.